I'm Liz Schrum for the Wisconsin Technology Council, here with WisBusiness.com, the show. Just ahead, Tom Still talks about the co-investing trend in Wisconsin. And Joe Kremer, CEO of Isomark LLC, talks about the company's pathway to developing a medical device that helps detect dangerous infections earlier. And now, here's the WisBusiness.com stock report for early May. Rising health rankings. A recent report from the Commonwealth Fund puts Wisconsin in a tie with Maine at number 7 among states' health system performances. The report, which tracked 42 measurements between 2007 and 2012, found Wisconsin showed improvement over that span in 11 categories and declined in 7. Among the improvements, better issuance of vaccines for young children, a decrease in hospital readmission rates for Medicare patients, and a drop in the number of older patients receiving potentially dangerous drugs. Areas that still need improvement included obesity rates and years of life lost prior to age 75. Minnesota topped the scorecard's rankings, while Mississippi came in at number 50. And falling, coal use. Although the state is still primarily reliant on coal for its energy, a new report from the State Public Service Commission finds its share of the state's energy picture is declining. The report shows coal now makes up 51% of Wisconsin's energy mix, down from 63% 2 years ago. Meanwhile, use of natural gas has doubled from 9% 2 years ago to 18% in the last analysis. And the assessment also finds Wisconsin is well on its way to meeting the goal of having 10% of its energy come from renewable sources by next year. And now, here's Tom Still with his Inside Wisconsin commentary.
The Wisconsin Technology Council and its Wisconsin Angel Network will soon publish the Wisconsin Portfolio, a report that looks at angel and venture capital investment trends. One trend that bodes well for startup companies is co-investing. In 2012 and 2013, there were 160 angel and venture deals reported in Wisconsin. Nearly 70 of those 160 deals involved at least one investor from outside Wisconsin and sometimes outside the country. There are only a handful of venture capital funds in Wisconsin, but all of them co-invest with others beyond Badger state lines. Calumet Venture Fund has 5 portfolio companies with 3 out-of-state investors in California and Chicago. Kegonsa Capital recently partnered with Sun Mountain Capital, a fund of funds based in New Mexico, to win a state contract to manage $25 million to be matched by private venture dollars. When the Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation and the State of Wisconsin Investment Board financed the $30 million 4490 fund, the first step was hiring a manager with Silicon Valley experience to help shop homegrown deals on the coast. Funds such as New York-based Great Oaks Ventures have regular feet on the ground and for investments in Wisconsin. Ohio-based Drive Capital, started by investors with Silicon Valley ties, is poised to invest here. Other recent out-of-state investments have come from Chrysalis Ventures, Arboretum Ventures, Great Point Partners, Open Prairie Ventures, HLM Ventures, Summit Partners, Hyde Park Angels, and more. And oh yes, a little group called Google Capital recently invested $40 million in Renaissance Learning, a Wisconsin Rapids firm that quickly sold for $1.1 billion. A number of these funds and others from outside the state have attended early-stage events in Wisconsin over time, such as the Wisconsin Entrepreneurs Conference coming up in June in Madison. Venture Investors, the state's largest venture capital fund, has co-invested with more than 80 venture capital firms over the course of its 5 funds. Does the trend toward co-investing mean Wisconsin entrepreneurs can expect to see investors from coast to coast clamoring to bet money on their success? Well, that's not automatically so based on national figures. Less than 1 in 10 business startups in the United States land angel financing, and less than 1 in 10 of that subset wind up in a venture capital fund's portfolio. Those imposing statistics aside, it's encouraging that non-Wisconsin investors are looking at deals in Wisconsin, and investors here are seeking them out. Dollars from outside Wisconsin spend just as well, and sometimes better, than those that can be found within its borders.
Thanks, Tom. I'll be right back with Joe Kremer, CEO of Isomark LLC.
White Hirschbeck Dudek represents companies at all stages of development and in a wide range of industries to navigate the legal challenges of regional, national, and global growth. At WHD, every stage takes center stage.
I'm back with Joe Kremer, CEO of Isomark. Welcome, Joe.
Hi, Liz.
Isomark is developing a device that will help detect infections in hospitalized patients. How does it work?
Well, the Isomark Canary uses a patient's breath to determine if they have an infection. So we collect a sample of breath, run it at the point of care on the Isomark Canary, and that alerts the clinicians if there's an impending infection developing.
The company recently received an investment from the Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation. How will you use that money and other investment dollars?
Well, that money was earmarked for an upcoming study that we're going to be launching at the University of Wisconsin Hospital and Clinics, where we're going to be looking at 110 patients, detecting infections and seeing how the Isomark Canary would improve the management of care scenario.
And what are Isomark's next steps for bringing Canary to market?
Being a medical device, we need to go through the FDA and we need clearance from the FDA. So really everything that we're doing going forward is focused on clinical studies and proving that the device works so that we can have clearance from the FDA.
Thanks, Joe, and thank you for watching this edition of WisBusiness.com, the show. The show is produced by WisBusiness.com and the Wisconsin Technology Council, and sponsored by White Hirschbeck Dudek, MG&E, and UW-Milwaukee. Visit our websites to read and learn more. I'm Liz Schrum of Talent Executive Search. See you next time.